The jury delivers its verdict in a Thunder Bay murder trial. Good evening. I'm Haley Perot alongside Ryan Bonazzo. Thank you for joining us. Cameron Adamko has been found guilty of second-degree murder for his role in the death of his stepmother, Darlene Giba.
The jury began deliberating last night and came back with their verdict this morning. Adamko has been in prison ever since he was arrested by Thunder Bay police in June of 2023 after the homicide at a home on East Mary Street. During the 3-week trial, the court heard that Giba died after suffering deep wounds to her neck caused by an X-Acto knife. The Crown says Adamko and Jana Sonego then tried to hide the evidence, leading to Sonego's conviction last year for accessory after the fact. Adamko's lawyer tried to convince the jury that Sonego was the one who killed Giba, asking for Adamko to be convicted of manslaughter rather than second-degree murder. But the jury settled on the more serious charge in their verdict. A sentencing hearing has been scheduled for December 16th.
Support staff from Confederation and other colleges across Ontario will begin voting tomorrow on a new contract.
The OPSU members went on strike for more than a month, returning to work 2 weeks ago after a tentative deal was reached. It includes a $1.05 wage increase this year and 2% raises in each of the following 2 years. But the local union head says they weren't able to achieve what they wanted overall. Jaden Billick reports.
It's hard, not going to lie, for me to be back here. It's a challenge. Yeah, it's in my members, I'm hearing that from my members as well. The relationship has changed with the college and not for the better.
President of OPSU Local 731, Owen Smith, led the push at Confederation College for increased provincial funding, benefits that were equal to academic staff, and stronger job security. The support staff returned to their jobs on October 16th, one day after a tentative agreement was reached. But reaction to the deal remains mixed.
It's a fair agreement for the most part. It's just there were no concessions. That's the biggest thing that we were fighting for. We did not get everything that we were striving for. The colleges were ready to leave us out even longer, and our bargaining team is saying this is the best deal they could have got us given the circumstances, and we maybe would have had to sit out all semester if we wanted anything more.
Smith says the month-long strike helped the union secure a few key wins in keeping their layoff protections and removing the college's split-shift proposal. However, he says many had hoped for larger wage increases. The ratification vote will give the members the chance to decide whether to officially accept the deal, and the results will determine the next steps moving forward.
October 31st to November 4th, it will be online. The vote is ran by the Ontario Labour Relations Board. This past Monday, I had to have the list of our voters in, so last Friday, I was supposed to be on vacation. I had to come in and vet the voters list to make sure the names are all correct. So the voting starts on Friday. So next Tuesday, I believe, is November 4th. So shortly after 3 p.m., we should know the results of the vote.
Smith says since coming back, the members have been catching up on their backlogged work, and students at the college are happy to see their support staff once again. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Kiiwetinoong MPP Saul Mamakwa continues to press the Ford government to take action to get the Ear Falls sawmill reopened. The NDP member questioned Associate Forestry Minister Kevin Holland at Queen's Park today.
Last Saturday, I rallied with community members who recently lost their jobs at the Ear Falls sawmill. I promised the people of Ear Falls that I would continue and standing up for them, whether it's to call for a tariff relief, also to get these tariffs removed, and to bring back the 160 jobs that were lost. Speaker, what tangible actions has this government taken to reopen the mill and bring back the jobs back to Ear Falls?
The Premier's team and I reached out immediately to local officials, including Mayor Cahoot, to offer support to the workers and the community. Ontario's forest sector continues to face challenges from weak lumber markets and unfair U.S. softwood lumber duties, now exceeding 45%. These tariffs are creating serious pressures on mills and communities all across the north. Ontario has invested over $150 million through programs such as the Forest Sector Innovation Program, Forest Biomass Program, and Northern Energy Advantage Program to modernize mills, lower costs, and strengthen competitiveness.
Ontario's Labour Minister continues to be grilled by the opposition over the scandal surrounding a multi-billion-dollar government funding program.
We're learning that David Piccini's wife served as a lobbyist for an advocacy group that represents career colleges that got millions of dollars from the fund. CTV's John Woodward has the latest details.
Computech College in Durham applied for and got a Skills Development Fund grant to train a class of personal support workers, or PSWs. So did Mississauga Career College, in partnership with the church, to the tune of around $3 million.
Healthcare was a big priority, and that's why we picked actually PSW as the personal support worker diploma program.
Those career colleges are members of the advocacy group Career Colleges Ontario. Records show that group hired a lobbyist named Faith Chipman to target a variety of ministries. Among the goals, increasing PSW training. Faith Chipman is the wife of Labour Minister David Piccini, responsible for the Skills Development Fund, prompting Ontario's opposition leader to cry foul.
Once again, it's the friends and family special with this minister.
Potential conflicts of interest involving spouses are often handled with something called an ethics screen, said York University professor Ian Stedman.
The screen would look like someone else's job is to stand in the way of the inbox and make sure that the minister doesn't receive any files from that company or that person, the spouse in this case.
And late Wednesday, Piccini confirmed that's what he has with Chipman.
We work with the Integrity Commissioner, and I take that very seriously.
Piccini didn't confirm a similar screen was in place with the man who put him and his wife in his family's season ticket ringside seats in 2023, a man tied to a company that would go on to get millions in Skills Development Fund grants, something the NDP seized on in question period.
Who paid for those tickets?
I'm glad she's talking about things that happened year before I even became minister.
Piccini said he paid for those tickets, but not how much. The NDP highlighting that among many connections between the governing PC party and recipients of the grants, though Piccini has said grants went to NDP supporters too. In a statement, Career Colleges Ontario said they don't represent individual colleges. CCO is not involved in these applications and does not have information regarding whether or how many member colleges may have participated. Chipman herself didn't respond to CTV News. Computech said it couldn't tell us any details under the conditions of our agreement, and Mississauga College's Peter Saad said he doesn't think the minister's wife was involved at all.
I don't know who the minister's wife is.
Saad believes their application was approved because of its quality.
That was CTV's John Woodward reporting. The Thunder Bay Museum is launching a new exhibit this evening. It's called Layer by Layer, Virginia McCoy and the Uncovering of Fort William First Nation History. The exhibit connects individual memory to community history, offering insight into the enduring strength of Fort William and the ongoing process of reclaiming identity. Through select artworks by the late Virginia McCoy, along with documents and photographs from her family, Layer by Layer reveals how personal stories illuminate broader experiences of colonialism, land loss, and cultural endurance.
This exhibit featuring Virginia McCoy and really talks about her personal history and the history of her family and how her artwork and her inspiration for that artwork came to be. And so the exhibit does a lot of work kind of putting all of that in context.
So it's been really amazing. You'll see our family tree on display as well, and to see these names and relatives really is a source of strength for knowing where I come from.
A lot of us are still discovering our Indigenous heritage because of many things like residential school and the 60s Scoop. We were not raised in the Indigenous way. So all of Virginia's stories about our family and our past have been just amazing for us to learn, because this is how we learn.
Tonight's grand opening begins at 7:30 at the Thunder Bay Museum.
Magnus Theatre is celebrating the grand opening of its new studio theatre with a stage production of Chase the Ace.
It's a fast-paced comedy thriller by renowned Canadian playwright Mark Crawford. The one-man play opens tonight. Ryan Graham has this sneak peek.
Fell into an unnecessarily large hole. Anyways...
Chase the Ace is a tour de force performance by Tom Curry, who transforms from moment to moment into everyone from a small-town radio host to a suspect mayor, a Scottish town councillor, and even a yapping chihuahua named Pepe. Curry explains part of his process of how he goes about embodying so many different characters.
I will always start with a voice. I'll come up with someone's voice. There's a character in the play who can't ever seem to turn her Zoom camera on, and her name is Helen, and I can't get my camera to work. You know, it's me, it's Helen. Can anybody help me? You know, and so you start with that, and then you start physicalizing that. So, and then there are moments where it feels very strange because I'm having arguments with myself. At one point, there's a fist fight. There is a car chase near the end of the show.
The production comes to life thanks to lighting designer Rebecca Miller, stage manager Gillian Jones, and acclaimed director Amy Sellers. The new studio theater at Magnus offers audiences an intimate setting to experience the magic of professional theater with themes of romance, trouble, money, and community.
This play is a really fun story of a guy who's come to a new town. The play really comes across like a play that has 17 people in it. These are scenes with dialogue back and forth, with characters switching back and forth. It's remarkable to see the character work that goes on. And you see Tom switching between all these different characters, 3 and 4 at a time, having all these conversations. It's quite magical.
You're looking at the other man. So you got your wife with you? Your kids? No kids.
After a pair of preview shows, the grand opening for Chase the Ace goes this Saturday evening, with performances continuing until November 15th. Ryan Graham, TBT News.
In just 2 days, one of Thunder Bay's tastiest fundraising campaigns will be back and bigger than ever.
This year's Ultimate Burger Battle, formerly known as Novemberger, will see more than 50 restaurants cook up burgers to raise money for the United Way, including 6 regional restaurants. Jessica Clement was at today's launch and has the details.
November 1st will mark the start of 2025's Ultimate Burger Battle, a month-long fundraising campaign that brings together the power of food and the power of giving back.
Our community has really embraced this fabulous program. The restaurants that participate report back that their sales, and we've seen the trend line, it's exponential. It's incredible the number of burgers that we sold last year. We're going to sell even more this year.
The campaign kickoff was held Thursday morning at Norteño's, giving Burger Battle ambassadors, including TBT's own Joey Langdon, the opportunity to taste some of the unique burger creations. There are 55 participating restaurants this year, including 6 regional restaurants in Kenora, Nipigon, Terrace Bay, and Manitouwadge.
The reputation of the program is being, carried far and wide. In addition to the regional partners that we've brought on board in Northwestern Ontario, we have 13 other communities across Canada that have adopted the Ultimate Burger Battle promotion based on the success that we've seen here in Thunder Bay.
At the end of the month, one of the burgers will be crowned as Thunder Bay's Ultimate Burger of the Year, voted by the ambassadors. Gurpinder Singh is looking forward to trying the different burgers throughout the month and talks about what he'll be looking for when judging.
For me personally, it's got to have that right mix of flavors, savory, some crunchiness, and I like a little bit of creativity as well.
$2 from every burger sold goes to United Way programs that help tackle food insecurity across the region. This year also features new ways to get involved, from special burger deals at A&W and George's Market, to limited edition merchandise from Ungali Clothing, Lovely Body, and Waxed Candle Co. Chef de Mission Erica Mikola says it's touching to see the community come together to support the campaign.
It's very heartwarming knowing that I was the one that started it and brought it here just from a small idea, and it's grown into this, it's a beast, to be honest. It's grown into this huge thing where over the month of November you really can't go anywhere without seeing something about it. It's something special to see just everybody involved and stepping up to give back in such a meaningful way.
More information about participating restaurants can be found on the Ultimate Burger Battle's website. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
There's just one more day until Halloween, and Thunder Bay residents are once again showing off their spooky side.
Hundreds of homes across the city are all decked out with creative and eerie decorations. Jaden Billick checked out a few of them and brings us this report.
If you're traveling through the city's south side, homeowners have turned their lawns into scenes straight out of a real-life horror movie. complete with big scary creatures, lots of cobwebs, and even a surprise appearance from the rock legends of Kiss. Larry Liechko has been decorating his home for the past 30 years and says it's all for community enjoyment.
I try to step it up every year. I like the people getting a laugh out of everything and enjoying it and getting away from their everyday life. You know, they just love the sayings and love to come out here, and I get hundreds of people on the sidewalk and in the yard, and I try to be different from everybody else. I try to make my own displays, and so I'm unique that way.
Neighbors across the city are swapping spooky ideas and adding their own personal touches to keep the Halloween spirit growing each year. The folks on Trinity Crescent have gone all out this spooky season, transforming their homes into scary showcases for some frightful fun.
It's something that we've been doing for several years. It just seems to be a Crescent decision. My grandson really loves Halloween, and he always prompts us to put up various displays, and now we're catching into it. You know, we seem to be spending more money and buying bigger and better things, and so it's a pleasure for us just seeing the joy and spirit that we bring to the spirit of Halloween.
For those looking to take a Halloween tour of their own, Facebook groups such as Thunder Bay's Spookiest Houses have photos and addresses of some of the city's most frightfully festive homes. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Wow, those are absolutely amazing and
Always
so
great to
fun
see
to
those,
see.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and if you're like me and you don't like to be too scared, going out during the day is a good idea. And Fiona, today was a nice day to walk around and look at some spooky houses.
Well, it was definitely drier than it might have been. It was still pretty gray. I think Mother Nature was trying to set the tone for
exactly.
Halloween. A little darker, a little cooler, not quite as warm as we had hoped we would hit, but we did stay above the freezing mark in the overnight hours, dropped down to a low of 1. Warmed up to a high of just 8, which is a few degrees above normal for this time of year. That was under cloudy skies, and winds were very light from the west-southwest, 5 to 10 kilometers per hour. If we take a look at what's going on in other parts of the region, we are seeing temperatures much cooler than they have been, and a lot more cloud working their way in. Fort Frances, overcast. They started the day at -3. Warmed up to 8. They're currently sitting at 7. Just a degree cooler in Dryden, Kenora, and Red Lake at 6 under mostly cloudy skies. Ironically, further north, it was actually a little warmer than Fort Frances, just -1 from Red Lake through Sioux Lookout and into Greenstone, where they also have got a lot of cloud. In fact, they went from fog in the morning to cloud in the afternoon, so they haven't seen any sun since yesterday. And to the eastern shores of Lake Superior, we've got Wawa enjoying 10 Celsius, double digits. Who knew? Sault Ste. Marie also hit the double digits at 12. They're currently sitting at 9, and that's under partly cloudy skies. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, we're going to see very much a repeat of last night. A lot of clouds, some fog patches developing after midnight, and a low just above the freezing mark at 2. And as we head into Halloween, we're looking at another gray day for Friday, and unfortunately there is a slight risk of something that looks like wet snow.
Well, that certainly is scary.
Slight risk.
Oh, okay.
30%
It's a little
chance.
spooky then.
So
Yeah.
it'll be just enough that I think some parents might grumble a little bit with their Tims walking behind the kids, but I don't think it's going to bother any of the younger ones who are doing their trick-or-treating.
Hey, it'll just create that spooky vibe.
Absolutely.
Befitting of
More
Halloween.
gray skies.
All right, thanks a lot, Fiona.